evening and welcome to Let's Talk Shop with Russ. Hope we can entertain you this afternoon, and we got a special guest on tonight. Yeah, we're having a little hard time finding guests. I talked to Mike earlier this week. Actually, yeah, it was this week or last week. No, it was last week. But anyway, he accepted my offer to come on board. I haven't had Mike on in several years. I mean, it's been like a long time, but we'll have him on tonight and talk with him. We're still looking for guests. I'm going back through my old files, and Mike particularly, which we'll talk about it later on, did a video here in the last few weeks that caught my attention, and it brought home to a lot of things about this YouTube thing that we all struggle and try to do and want to do and try to improve on it. And we all have these delusions of grandeur, I think, sometimes. I never took it really serious when I first started my YouTube channel. I kind of went like, I'm just going to do this to have fun. But somebody took it serious. Some of them took it serious, and they actually grew and progressed, like Stumpy Nubs, like we talked about the other day. Nick Ferry, I think he's another one that did really good with himself on YouTube. And the Wood Whisperer, all them grew and grew and grew and still are going to this day. But I think a lot of people that started during the portion when I started, Mike started, Nick Ferry started, and some of the other people got. Who's the guy that goes boom in all of his videos?
Rockin' H Woodshop.
Rockin' H Woodshop. Thank you, Donald. Yeah, he did very good for himself. So, but when you didn't make it, I think that it set you back and made you realize maybe I ain't as good as what I thought I was or whatever. But some people just have that niche. Some people just have that little thing. Some people have that little pizzazz that people like, and they take off and run with it, and it's great. Others, myself included, I mean, I did what I did. I never worried about it in any way, shape, or form, and I'm still happy and playing around to this day. Actually, I'm still here, and a lot of people are gone.
Yeah,
a lot of people gone that I knew, and I'll wait till Mike gets back on to talk about that a little bit more. But yeah, we've lost several good, great woodworkers over the years, so that have gone to be somewhere else. They're not here anymore. So, but yeah, but Mike's back, so I'll add him in here. But yeah, so
yeah, feedback is going crazy.
Oh wow, yeah. So I've known Mike. I don't know. I started my YouTube channel almost 15 years ago, so I've known Mike at least for 13 years, probably, maybe more, maybe less, something like that. But anyway, so we're going to have Mike on in just a few minutes. So, Jim, tell us where we can find you.
Jim Bashir's Driveway Workshop, and tonight I'm glad we've got MF, and MF from the MF Workshop. Or Woodshop, sorry.
Yeah, Woodshop.
What's up?
Yeah. Chris.
again, Chris here at the old Cranky Workshop. If you notice, I think I figured out how to get rid of the glare on my monitor here. So it's been driving me crazy. So I finally figured it out. Anyways, you find me on YouTube and Facebook, and it's a shop tour video in the works. I know I keep saying that, but it'll get done. Trust me. I leave my rest of my minutes to Al.
Yep, and Al.
Al Forte, Kilroy 79763, just for fun. Hey, great to be here. I don't know what Chris was saying, something like that. I forgot. I lost my train of thought, I guess. So with that, oh yeah, I know what it was. Yeah, ain't gonna be no shop tour in my shop, right, Paul? Anyway, with that, there's Paul.
Paul Corliss from Paul's Messy Workshop, and Al says that because he's the Texas version of Paul's Messy Workshop. And, we have a contest on whose workshop is messier, and Mine is just kind of a trail through the room. So
I'm the North
I'm trying to
Indiana-
figure out how mine got messy. I've been out of here for 3 days. So,
you can find me on YouTube and on Instagram. And Donald, it's your turn.
Hey, I'm Donald Matthews from Donald Velocifies Woodshop. You can find me on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. My website's redneckknowhow.com. And the tour of my shop consists of a big pile of mess.
And everybody knows me. I don't have to do an introduction.
And
So,
this is Jimbo.
yeah,
I didn't want to type it in.
we have, let me go over the chat real quick just before we get the mic. Michelle Marcoux, JJE, James Parker, Lynn's Handcrafted Wood Signs. I know that Aussie Man's got to be out there.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, Tanya Wilhoit.
Oh, that's my sister.
Oh, okay. Hi, Tanya. Aussie Man, James Parker. So, Jimmy Jetpack.
Lens Handcrafted Wood Signs.
Yep.
Yingy.
Out there. Dan Inge from Dan Inge Woodworking. So we've got quite a few people out there. Good. So yeah, how are you, Mike?
Jimmy Jetpack's out there too.
Yeah, I just said Jimmy Jetpack. You missed that.
I must have not heard it. My apologies.
Donna had something that come up that she had to do. Oh, she informed me that she had a bunch of hat orders that she had to complete tonight, and I don't know where Dixon's at, so he didn't say anything this afternoon.
Oh, it was hat orders. Hat orders.
Hat, H-A-T.
I thought she said cat orders. I don't know. I just that makes more sense now.
No, it's hat orders, hat. She does, for Mike, if you don't know, Donna does a lot of
I
embroidery.
know Donna.
Yeah, she has one of these 8 she can do 8 colors at one time or whatever machines. I mean,
Yeah.
It's really nice. So I want one of them too myself, but they're only like $10,000. So
Only?
yeah,
Chump
only
change for you,
$10,000.
Russ.
Yeah,
I
they're really
think it's 15 needles, isn't it, Russ?
big.
Yeah, I remember the 15, but yeah.
It could be 15. I mean, I don't know. So, but anyway, Mike, how you been?
I've been not too bad, really. Last few months been pretty decent. And last few years kind of sucked, but last few months hasn't been too bad.
Cool. And I know your wife had some heart problems, and she was sick there for a little while.
Well, she always has problems. No current heart problems. She grew up. She was born. What's that called? Tetralogy of flow. So,
Okay.
she was the blue baby.
Okay.
We called them blue babies back then. So she was pretty much kind of one of the first ones doing that surgery, wasn't you? So Mayo Clinic came up with that, pig valve replacement, and
Right.
she was kind of one of the first babies that ever did it. So
Wow.
she wasn't the first, but she was pretty
Right.
close.
Wow.
So,
Wow.
so every 5 years. How many surgeries you got? Well, I know that, but as a kid, 7 or 8 open heart surgeries. So,
One valve?
Wow.
All of them.
what valve is that? Pulmonary valve replacement.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's I mean,
Oh, you got
It's
a cow
amazing.
valve now? Oh, I guess it's a cow valve now.
well, at least you don't walk around going oink 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 anymore. You go moo moo moo.
Right.
No, we joke at it, but I cannot even imagine every 5 or 6 years have to have open heart surgery. So bless her heart.
So
You know?
the last one she had was 2005,
Okay.
and that was shortly after we got together. It was only 5 or 6, a couple of years after we got together.
Wow.
And that was the first time I ever seen anybody have an open heart or any major
Oh,
heart. Yeah, that's completely.
Yeah.
But they did
Oh,
say
yeah.
after that particular surgery, I remember the surgeon telling me that the next time she has to have one, we don't have to open her chest anymore. They can just pop through the rib now.
Oh,
So
wow.
the next one should be. I think she'll have to have probably one more before she dies. But
Does she have a port there, or just that it's the
they actually physically removed that valve and put a new valve in. Yeah.
Wow.
Is it a valve or a tube or?
Yeah, it's open
Wow.
heart surgery. In other words, they go in and split the rib cage and open up and go in.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was crazy.
yeah.
Yeah,
Hey,
but
Russ, your
I
sound
only-
isn't very good tonight.
huh?
Your sound isn't very good tonight.
Yeah, it's kind of
My
echoey.
audio?
I'm thinking your sound's coming from a different microphone, Russ. If you have multiple cameras, maybe it's picking it up back from.
Yeah, good question. Let me see here.
You know,
Because I did change cameras.
it's his first day.
Audio.
Yeah.
Sounds like you're in a big empty room, and we know
Yeah.
it's not empty.
It's his
I
first
call
day.
it
Give him
3D
a break.
printers.
Totally 100%.
No, can't hear you now.
Let's see if this works.
Yes.
That's better.
Yeah.
Hey,
That's
That's it.
better.
back to normal.
He's only been doing it for 10 years, so give him a little bit.
Exactly.
Yeah. When I change cameras,
Yes.
and I have to remember that because I have two cameras that are exactly alike, but sometimes when I change camera, the cameras that I use are the Logitech, whatever.
20s.
Yeah, and it will pick up the microphone on the Logitech.
Yep.
And that's what it did. When I changed back, it didn't pick up my Yeti. It picked up the Logitech. So that's the reason
I'll
you
tell
were
you the
getting the
best thing
echo.
I bought was.
Thank you
That's
for
good
pointing
if
that
you
out,
go
Paul.
over there. That's good if you go over there, and then they can hear you well.
Follow me over there, but the bad thing is coming back. I got to remember to flip it back to the Yeti,
Exactly.
which I don't do because this up here don't work as
No,
good as it
hey,
used to.
that's why you have the panel. Paul,
Exactly. So, when did you? My question is what? When did you start? Do you remember the year you started your YouTube channel, Mike?
Me? Oh, shoot. No, not the exact year. It's been about
9-10 years.
9-10 years, yeah.
I put the link to his channel out there.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, that's during about the 10 years ago is about the time. Well, actually, I started a little.
Started about the same time, so.
Yeah, mine was started a little bit before because this is episode 10 of Let's Talk Shop with Russ, and I didn't start Let's Talk Shop with Russ until 2 years until I was in the YouTube. So it's been about 12 years for me. But yes, I remember when you,
Way
Nick,
better.
Patrick, yeah, all of us used to get
Way
together.
better back then, honestly.
Oh yeah, it was a lot of fun. A lot of fun. I spent a minion. We all spent a minion night till 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning talking.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Out my
Having a good
freezing
time.
garage, talking to you guys.
So, what got you into woodworking?
I've always I think shop class back in middle school kind of kicked it off. Mom was always a pretty good supporter. I mean, she bought my first circular saw. I still have it. When I was in probably middle school, maybe freshman year high school, somewhere in there. But it just kind of built up, and over the years you get more and better tools, and you kind of gets easier and easier the better stuff you get, and eventually you just kind of, hey, now I'm a woodworker. It just kind of fell that way. I don't think any one particular thing ever got me there, but I do remember shop class in middle school, and I was kind of pissed off when I went to high school that they didn't have shop class.
Yeah,
That was kind of the first year that they never had it,
yeah.
and I had to resort to drafting, and it was actually pen and paper drafting back then.
Pencil and paper.
But
Yeah.
I didn't like it because they
Wow.
wanted math and geometry and all that stuff, and I never got any good at it.
Yeah.
I've got
No,
a,
I remember because it wasn't called shop. Well, we had shop, but our shop was more of here in Florida was more of a mechanical, like work on cars and stuff.
Yeah.
And FFA taught you more of the agriculture and woodwork. So
Yeah.
that's we
We
split
had,
it.
we did have a mechanical shop. It was at the time, I guess I don't know what they call that, educational center. It was a extension of high school at the time, so you had to actually go to a different campus to do it. And when I was there, the only people that could do it was junior and seniors, so freshmen and sophomores couldn't do it. So, time I got a junior, I didn't care anymore. I just wanted school to be done with and over.
Yeah.
So
So
I
we
was more of
advanced
a bando geek in high school. So
to 10, 12 years ago. And what made you decide I'm going to get on YouTube?
that that was I wanted to learn how to wood lathe or use the wood lathe, and I started watching YouTube, and of course I found Carl Jacobs right off the bat, and he was the first guy I ever watched at all on YouTube. And I remember this very vividly. It was the first YouTube anything I ever watched, and he pops his head out of this little camper thing, and he was like yelling at his son or yelling at somebody, and it was all a skit. But I didn't know that at the time. I thought YouTube was something completely different. So he yells at this kid. I think it was his son or something. And I was like, man, this guy's kind of a dick. So I kind of kept watching for some reason. And, then I kind of realized what was going on. And so anyway, I kept watching videos, learning how to wood turn, and finally got a wood lathe and, started doing that. And more I got down the YouTube rabbit hole, I found Summer's Woodworking.
Yep.
And he was putting on a 2x4 challenge at the time. And the only rules was just use a 2x4 and upload a YouTube video. Of course, I didn't know anything about YouTube at the time, so I went down and bought a 2x4. I made a project and I put it on YouTube. Well, then all down the row, and I got subscribers, I got viewers, I got comments. I was like, well, that's kind of cool. Let's just keep going, and I did.
Question, Mike.
Yeah.
Was the 2x4 challenge? I don't think it was, but did you make first cards?
Yeah, my playing cards. Yep.
Okay, that was the first video, the very first video 9 years ago, because I was looking at your channel. That's why I was asking. I didn't watch.
That was my very first video. Yep.
Yeah, but anyway, there you go. Yeah.
The only reason I put it on there was because of that 2x4 challenge, and I wanted to win.
Still there, yeah.
Yeah, that was
this one.
What's his name that did that? Woodworkers on
YouTube.
Brian Kidney. Brian Kidney. Yeah, I remember he got me caught up into that 2x4 challenge also.
I like that contest.
It was a lot of fun.
I don't know why we don't still do that. I mean, that was the funnest part about it.
Yeah.
You're right. And here, just give me 1 second. I don't want to get this lengthy because I want to get more into you. But I noticed a slowly decline. And then when the pandemic hit, you would have thought that people would have really went into the challenges because now you got time to woodwork, and it was the opposite effect.
Opposite, yeah.
Yeah, I had the scroll saw challenge. Then Laney gave me the birdhouse challenge.
Yep. I did a couple of
or the whirligig wars. No, the whirligig.
Whirligig,
yeah. He gave me the whirligig wars. And then somebody else, Sterling gave me his
pallet challenge. Was that
pallet challenge? So I had all three of those challenges going at one time, and they were very great. We would get 15, 20 plus entries at any given time. But as soon as the pandemic hit, it went boom. And people said, like, why did you stop doing them? Well, first off, I don't want to go to a sponsor and ask for, let's say I get five sponsors and 5 gifts, but I have 3 people that enter. I don't want to have to call that sponsor and tell them, oh, we only had 3 people this year, because guess what happens next year?
Yep.
Right.
You won't hear from them.
No, and I can speak to that from experience in road racing.
Yeah.
I had to return 2 full kegs once to the beer sponsor. Guess what I got next year? 2 less kegs.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. So,
I bet they
and that's when I said, you know what? There's no use in continuing this, because, and like I said, you would have thought it would have encouraged people. Now they're at home. They have to be at home. They can't go out and walk the streets anymore. It would have really flourished it, but it had the opposite. So, well, let's put it this way. By the end of the pandemic, I put out a challenge and I got 3 people that entered. And I said, okay, that's it. Just no more. So I have thought about, I had somebody ask me, I have 3 emails in my inbox real quick for the Whirly Gig War Challenge. And I'm thinking about doing it this is April, May, June. So we may fire up the Whirly Gig War Challenge in June, and we'll go from there and see where it goes. I don't have a problem with getting sponsors, and I don't have but once again, I don't want to get these prizes and then have to tell the sponsors, because they won't come back next year. I guarantee you.
Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, that was a good time.
The one thing I've seen, over the 9 years, 10 years, whatever it is, and I mentioned this in my last video, people's gone more commercialized, and they have to do that to make a living if they're going to do that, and I get it, but it just got too commercialized, and people aren't doing the community thing anymore. They're doing their own thing, and they have to make money. I get it, but to me, it was always the community thing, and when that kind of broke apart, I really lost interest.
Yeah. I mean, I'm like Russ. I'm not, if I do a video, and I keep promising them, it's for fun. I'm not doing it to monetize. I had a job. I've retired now. I still get income. I'm not worried about it.
That's my slogan. Just for fun.
Yeah, I kind of
No
lost.
matter what you do it just for fun.
I kind of lost heart when my channel got hijacked, and I couldn't get hold of nobody at YouTube or Google or anything to do anything about it, to say it on me. And I kind of got fed up with it. I'm still working. I started a new channel and I'm uploading videos, but I am not pressuring myself into doing it like I was before.
Yeah.
Because it's just gonna be it's just gonna be took away, and they don't give you any resource.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, that's the thing. You have to look at it like this. If you went into YouTube to make a living, you're a fool, as far as I'm concerned. And I'm not saying that there ain't people out there that are making bukus of money. They just are a lot more successful or did something different than I did. First off, I'm a gamer, but I'm not a gamer like they are. But from the day one, I did it for fun, and I'm still having fun. So.
But some of the people that I started with are huge YouTubers now.
Yeah.
I mean Jay. Me and Jay was on the phone for a long time on the. He taught me SketchUp over a call like this, and he taught me a lot about Photoshop and taught me a lot of how to get going. And, he's huge now. And Steve Ramsey, same way. I mean, he
Stumpy
started
Nubs,
the whole thing, but I even did videos for Steve Ramsey on his second or third or fifth, 8th channel, whatever you got now.
I cut my teeth on Steve Ramsey. That was when I first started.
But those guys brought me in and kept me going for a long time, but they outgrew me, and I get it, They
Well,
got their own thing
and
to
that's
do,
the
and
thing. I get it too. Some people have that little niche or that little thing or that way of videoing or that way of doing this or that way of doing that. And
Yeah.
do you miss Atlanta woodworking shows?
yeah, I was actually
Yeah.
thinking about that this year because the pandemic kind of screwed everything up with that. But when it came back, nobody talked about it, nobody said anything about it, and so I waited another year, and it kind of came around, and nobody talked about it, nobody said anything about it, nobody invited me or anything, so I just kind of went on the backside of it. But yeah, the Atlanta woodworking shows, those were awesome.
Did you
Yeah.
go to the one in Indy?
I haven't since the pandemic. I haven't since before the pandemic, but I did go every year before that.
Well, it was a combination of a couple of different things, just real quick. The pandemic and also,
Wood Tree or whoever it was.
I'm trying to think of their name right now.
Peachtree.
Peachtree.
Yeah.
Thank you. Peachtree, one of the mother or the grandmother, one of the patriarchs of the family, had cancer and wasn't doing well. So when Peachtree, which was the largest supporter of the woodworking shows, so to speak, backed out because of that situation, it kind of like between the pandemic and them backing out just fell in. So
I don't know how well those shows are doing. I know they're still rolling, but I don't know how well they're
only in selected cities because they were supposed to do Tampa this year for the first year in several years. And come to find out, since Peachtree said that they weren't traveling this far as this far south to Tampa, backed out, they closed the whole show down. So we didn't even have one this year, even though we were supposed to have one. So.
Yeah, I'm looking at their website. They also canceled Kansas City and Nashville.
Yep. So
Kansas City was the first one I went to, and I don't even think that was the woodworking show. I think that was a
craft show.
Well, we did a maker meetup at the time, but it was something else. There was two shows kind of rolling, and one of them was the woodworking show, and the other one was more true woodworking, like hand planes and traditional woodworking stuff.
Right.
And it was more, specialized. It wasn't just kind of a broad, woodworking show.
Vintage woodworking, kind of.
I don't remember what it's called.
No, just called woodworking shows.
Oh,
maybe.
Yeah.
I want to say woodcraft, but that's wrong.
Wow. The first one I went to, that, like you said, there were all kinds of little classes off to the side.
Yeah.
And you just step right in, sit down, and learn a few things. Like the third one I went to in Mass, up in Springfield, suddenly you had to pay to be in the class. On top of paying to be at the show.
Right.
Wait a minute, you're kind of losing me now,
Yeah.
That's the way they played it, and Peachtree pulled out. So
everybody's got to make their money.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they're really commercializing more and building up more commercially, and not concentrating
I think
on
online has a lot to do with it too.
the what? Mike?
I think online has a lot to do with it.
Yes.
Online shopping and stuff like that. I mean, I don't go to the Woodcraft or Rocklers anymore. I just order it, and 90% of it comes from Amazon, even though it costs $50 more.
Well,
it's so easy.
Amazon always reminds me. Excuse me, Russ. Amazon always reminds me how much money I save with shipping when I buy something. Anyway, go ahead, Russ.
Well, but be honest with you, I would say 80+% of the time you can actually get it cheaper, if not for the same price, and then you get free shipping. Because Rockler has like a $50 minimum for free shipping, which if you order it from Amazon, which is through Rockler, you don't pay anything for shipping. So it's like a no-brainer. So, I mean, the companies like Rockler and all these others are kind of putting them own selves out of business if they can't absorb that free shipping. Because that's the biggest kick. I pay a flat fee every year to be a Prime member, and all through that year I get free shipping. And I sit down one year and actually added it up, and I saved myself somewhere in the neighborhood of $1,500 in shipping in 1 year.
Oh, I believe that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I cut up more Amazon boxes for the recycle barrel than I care to count. So,
Yeah.
We use them,
yeah.
use them and reuse them again, Chris.
Nah.
But
We send stuff out in a
now those plastic pouches from Amazon, the mail pouches, so to speak, I use them for all kinds of things. Like for all my all my 10-inch saw blades. I spray them with oil, then I put them in those plastic packages, and I stick them in a box and stack them on each other. And when I pull them out, they're still oily and they're ready in the Amazon sleeve.
There's a show topic right there.
Yeah.
Now, to give you an idea what Amazon's doing to everybody, you may have all seen the ad for these masks on Facebook.
So let's advance forward now, Mike.
The Win Company. I won from their Facebook ad was 21 and change. For 17 and change off of Amazon, I got 2. And free shipping.
Yeah, and free shipping. That's what I said.
I'm sure that's a mask.
Great show. I'll do a review of it.
You sure that's a mask and not a cup?
No, I can use it as that.
I don't know. It was red. It looks kind of kinky to me, Donald.
Yeah. It also looks like it's. Never mind.
That's what I said.
I've already used it on the lathe. I've used it at the tabletop pieces. When chips hit you, no problem.
Yeah. And that doesn't fog up when you got it on?
Nope.
Huh.
So,
pretty neat.
The only thing is
stops you from breathing.
Filters. I don't get the little filters.
Any questions up there?
Mike, y'all look for questions because I'm asking Mike a question. Let's advance forward to your last video that you put out about you were backing off. Can you tell us a little bit what caused you to do that, and then why the video?
It was mostly tax reasons. I never made a whole lot of money with YouTube anyway. I mean, definitely not what I put into the shop, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So at least here in Indiana on a 1099, if you make $600 or more, you got to, pay taxes on.
Right.
I'm sure that's many states, but at least Indiana is 600 or more, you got to pay taxes on. So, and it's not that much, but when you add up a business included in that, and then you try to, deduct everything that you put on there, the numbers don't work. So, I was filing $8,000 worth of expenses for $1,200 of income.
And they don't like that either, do they?
They don't like that so much. So
yeah,
but they want you to file what you earned, which is crazy.
Yeah, and like this year, I don't remember the exact number, but it was like 6,000 and 1,200 or something like that. And the form kept coming back to me, rejected, or something's wrong, or you got to itemize this stuff. And I was like, I'm not itemizing every nut and bolt I buy. And, it's supplies, period. I mean,
right.
If you want to see it, you can go back in my video log. You'll find it in there somewhere. I mean, everything that I bought is on video somewhere. And if it went on video, it went in my receipt file. That's in the story. I mean, if you want to see it, there it is.
Right.
If I talked about it, if I bought it for a video, or if I showed it even in the background of the video, it went in my expenses. But
exactly.
Yeah, it was mostly just money reasons. That's really. I just didn't want to screw with the taxes.
But it has to
anymore.
not only be money reasons. It has to also be the time-consuming factor. If you're not having an accountant, which an accountant costs you money, and you're trying to do your own taxes to list all this stuff, there's hours upon hours upon hours that you're spending writing all this stuff down and filling all those forms.
Yeah. It all goes back to the majority. The main reason I stopped monetizing is the money.
Yeah.
So I didn't take any of my videos down. I just turned off the monetization. That's all I did.
Right.
I went through every one of my videos and turned off monetizations. So anything out there, monetization wise, I won't make money from YouTube anymore.
Right.
If I put it out there, it's because I want to.
Right.
And if I put it out there, it's because somebody paid me to put it out there.
Right.
You know,
And the
I'm
flip side,
working on a video right now where, a 3D printer company sent me a printer, so I got to do a review for it.
Yeah.
Right. And that's my form of payment, for that video.
Right.
But if I put it out there, it's because somebody paid me to put it out there, or I want to do it. Yeah.
I heard a real good, I don't know, analogy or something about the IRS. And it was like, and I don't remember where I heard it, but I heard it like this. I've got a bag of jelly beans in my hand, and you got to tell me, how did he put it? How many of those jelly beans you have to pay me? Okay. I know how many you have to pay me, but you have to tell me how many jelly beans you have to pay me, or else you get penalized. I don't know if that makes sense, but it made so much sense to me. The taxing entity says you may owe us this, but they should tell you owe us this instead of me trying to figure out what I owe you.
Yeah.
So it's weird. It's really weird.
Yeah.
But
These days, it's worth
they
having.
overcomplicate it. And I mean, if I make $500 on a 1099, I mean, what's the percent? I owe 10% or whatever,
Right.
Okay, I'll pay you $50, whatever.
Exactly.
If it was just that simple, it wouldn't be a big deal. But they have to break it down, and lawyers and IRS and it's all.
And what are supplies and what are consumables and what are
Right.
Yeah. So
awesome,
everything in my world is a consumable. I mean, if I buy a sheet of plywood, it's a consumable.
Yeah.
If I buy a bolt to screw into that plywood, it's a consumable.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all it is.
Yeah.
So
The only thing not
all
consumables are the tools.
Right.
Right.
Because
But
you
they
can
get wear and
reuse them.
tear.
Right.
Aussie Man has a
And
good
they
point.
depreciate too.
Yes, big time.
Aussie Man's one of our. His actual name's Bill, but he's one of our long-standing. He put on there sometimes items on Amazon even gives me free shipping from the use. I save hundreds, sometimes even. So in other words, I read the whole thing, and what I understand from him saying is he may pay more for like let's say a circular saw. He may pay more for the circular saw, but because he lives in Australia with the free shipping, he'll actually save money without having to pay the shipping to Australia, so to speak.
Even though that it's actually more expensive, the item itself.
Right. So he's saving money on the shipping. So, and that makes sense. I mean, it is.
I can't imagine that. I mean, we're really spoiled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. I thank God my dad was Cherokee Indian, and they came from the United States, and I'm here, and I can't imagine, because he's told me some stories of some things that he's ordered and how much he had to pay for shipping, and I just I can't even. I told him, I said, I'll buy it and I'll ship it to you. It's not going to help me. The shipping's still the same. I mean, it's you have to pay, even though it's.
I'm
go
sorry,
ahead.
I didn't mean.
No,
to
go ahead.
off.
No, go ahead.
The eye opener for me was just recently, actually, and I got this 3D printer and I was playing with it, and I wanted some DeWalt battery tool holders, and so I found the file on Thingiverse. I printed a couple, really liked it. It was a good file. I made some changes to it to make it my own, and tweaked it just a little bit to make it that much better. And I was like, man, this is nice. I could sell these. I was like, so I went all in. I mean, I was printing hour after hour. I was printing, I don't know, with the ender. I mean, it was taking 5 hours per holder anyway. So, but I filled up the whole bed and letting it print all day long. And I did this for like a month. And I had, I don't know, maybe 50 or 60 of them all sudden before I realized what the hell I was doing. Yeah. I got a good backstory to this, so hang in there. So I printed these things. I was doing the marketing. I was going to put them on Etsy or somewhere and sell them. I had instructions. I had screws. I had packaging. I had boxes, whole ball and wax.
Wow.
And I was thinking, what's a good price for this? And I was like, I think $10, $15 a piece should be great price for this. Nope. I was way off. And I was thinking $10, $15 for one. So I went on Amazon. I was like, surely enough, somebody's selling these. Sure enough, they are. And they were selling them for $12 a piece for 15 of them. I was like, yeah, I can't compete with that.
Yeah, exactly.
Not with one printer. Maybe if I had 100 printers. I was like, no, and that's when I stopped printing them.
Yeah, those guys have a whole bank of printers running.
Well, yeah, they have what is called a printer farm.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have a printer farm. They got 20, 30 printers printing them at one. Yeah, each one of them's printing a couple at a time. So let's say I have 30 printers and each of them prints 2. That's 60 in 4 or 5 hours. So yeah, you can't compete with that. Yeah.
Not with one printer. There's no way.
No.
I'd have to fill up my whole shop with printers just to keep
So
up.
you must have hundreds of those things sticking on your walls to hang all your tools, right?
I got every one of my DeWalt tools covered. I sent off some to my cousins in Florida and gave some to some people at work. And I still have probably 20 or 30 maybe.
Your Christmas shopping is done.
Yeah.
What's that?
Your Christmas shopping is done.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
No, I mean, my family uses different tools like Makita and Craftsman.
To put that in perspective with the same aspect of that going into the YouTube thing that we just went through with, it kind of covers the whole basis. Is people in the same aspect thought they were going to open a YouTube channel and make money, and they didn't. So I don't know how to explain it. But you're right. I thought that same thing on a few occasions. The only thing that changed me about the YouTube channel was I had a good friend of mine who talked to me about it and said, and actually it was Steve Good. And me and him had several talks. And he goes, if you're getting into it to have fun, that's not a problem. But if you're going to get into it to make money, I have a feeling you're going to be disappointed.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
I think a lot of them are.
Yeah, I took that at heart. And that's the reason when I started from the beginning, this is in it. I'm in it for fun. And if I make money along the way, hallelujah. Yeah. But in the same aspect.
As far as the money goes, I always thought if I could make enough to pay for my next project, I'd be fine.
Right. Yeah. But, sustain yourself.
Yeah. But I mean, with the prices of everything gone up, I mean, even from 5 years ago, especially since the pandemic, but even before the pandemic, I mean, stuff was going up. I mean, when I first started, you buy a good sheet of plywood for $30.
Right.
Yeah, and then it went to $80, $100.
Sheet of plywood for $100 anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I understand what you're saying. Yeah, because I pretty well cut back on. I had somewhat of a stockpile that I could carry myself through. So I had 2 or 3 sheets of plywood, 2 or 3 sheets of this. I mean, enough that I could carry myself through. So when the pandemic hit, I could have sustained myself through and didn't have to buy anything, because when I went down there, and you're right, I spent $30 and now they want $80, $100 for it. Oh, bull crap. I ain't paying that. I just won't build anything until it comes back down. And it went like flat on the graph scale, and it stayed up here and stayed up here, and then it finally went then when it tilted, it started coming slow,
but it never came back to where it was.
Right.
It wasn't.
Yeah.
Right.
When the pandemic hit, and we all saw price increases, my first comment was, as soon as McDonald's gets $10 for a meal, they're always going to get $10 for a meal.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that's
And
a good
now
way to
it's
look at
like
it. You're right.
12. I mean,
Yeah.
I went to Arby's the other day, got 2 meals. It was $28.
Yeah.
I was like, geez.
Yeah.
Surprised they're still in existence.
Wendy's
Oh, yeah.
one was $15.
Yeah. No, you'll spend anywhere between 10 and 15, depending on what you
Easy,
by yourself. Yes.
And it seems like it's everywhere I go. If I get out for $20 a person, I'm happy. I'm good.
I ordered 2 Pizza Hut pizzas because we particularly like Pizza Hut.
$50.
And I ordered 2 large Pizza Hut pizzas and a couple of other extras. And I thought I was sitting in, Outback or one of those places, because my bill was almost $70.
Isn't that crazy?
And I'm
Now,
like,
did you pick it up or did you have it delivered?
Oh, I had it delivered.
See, there's what's killing it.
Well, I understand, but by the time you pay for $4 of diesel fuel to go up there and pick it up and coming back, it's like,
I don't disagree. I'm just saying, but the delivery's where the money's being.
yeah, I understand, but so I'll just have it delivered and pay, because I'm not wasting my time and going up there. But my point being is, you're exactly right. Everything is just totally changed, and
I went
it's
into
kind of
McDonald's.
sad.
I went into
Unfortunately, our
McDonald's a couple of
paychecks
days
hasn't
ago
changed.
Yeah.
to get some chicken nuggets and 10 pieces, $10, $9.09.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
you've lost your mind.
Yeah. No, we went. I told the guys before, before we started the actual show, that I never ate at a Culver's, and we got one locally now. And I went, me and my son and granddaughters went in there and eat today. And the 4 of us, and Paisley is a toddler. She don't eat that much or whatever, but it was like $42 for 4 of us, so $10 a piece.
See, that's good.
It's
Yeah,
not
so-
bad, Russell. I'm sorry, it's not
We're
bad.
so desynthesized though with what the value of a dollar is,
Yeah,
that like what I just said. Oh, that's good. 4 people, $42.
No, I can cook. You know what? I can have T-bone steaks for $42 at home.
Yes, sir.
Not-
Yes,
Yeah,
I don't
Mike,
know,
for a
that's kinda
second I thought that was a puppet on your hands.
yeah. That's his dog.
I know.
Oh,
He was over here whining for some reason.
him.
But no, yeah, you're right. So
You gotta look at the other side of it though. We complain about the prices at a restaurant, but the restaurant's gonna pay all that staff. And
I know. I'm not. They got to make money too, and I'm not complaining about that. I'm talking about inflation within the general form. Period.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
We're never gonna fix that. Never
Yeah.
gonna fix it.
So what are your intentions at this point on? Because I know you said you were going to cut back and everything, Mike. What are your intentions from this point on?
I mean, really, over the last 3 years, I've kind of cut back.
Right.
Even, I guess, since before the pandemic, I was almost doing a weekly video.
Yeah.
And I guess it was maybe right before the pandemic, I stopped doing weekly videos, and I just did it, as project came up. And I had a lot of projects at the time. Then I don't want to blame it on pandemic, because that's not the case, but it was about that time frame, I would say. I kind of slowed
We lost you, Mike.
Yeah, your sound went crinkling, Mike, and then it went away.
Oh, no. There we go.
Better. I've got a question regarding what you just said, the process or the progress or degress of you getting out of YouTube or whatever. But what's your full-time job?
I work for, I don't know if I could say.
Well, no, wait. Hold on. Okay, let me repeat.
If it won't bother your company or you or anything, I don't care. You can
No,
say
let
what you
me-
want. But
No,
if you want to,
yeah.
if you
Let
want to
me-
do conservative for your company or for your personal, then you don't have to say.
Let me rephrase my question. Is your hobby woodworking, or is your hobby your full-time job? That's really where I was going with.
No, my full-time job's completely different.
Okay, see,
It's,
that may have been it too.
I repair printers in the short term. I mean, I repair photo printers is what I do.
I know
And
a
I
couple
work
guys who do that.
we're contracted with a very well-known film company.
Okay.
I'll
Cool.
just leave it at that.
Do you see my point, Bill?
Yeah. Yeah, if I did woodworking for a living, I don't think I could come home and do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And what I'm trying to say is, like, the Wood Whisperer, doesn't he do that full time?
Yeah, he does that full time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of these.
But he not only does it for the YouTube channel, he also makes things that he sells or
I mean,
people
Sure,
contract
sure.
him to buy.
Sure.
So yeah,
But again, full time job, and that's what
Right.
I'm trying to say.
yeah.
I haven't.
Didn't he do that Queen Anne dresser bureau with the multi shelves and
Yeah,
multi drawers rather? That was a work of art, and he's getting top dollar for that.
exactly.
Oh yeah.
That's not a Target purchase. So
I think
Exactly.
most of the project
Wood-
is for his guild, though.
yeah, he's
He
amazing.
built
Wood-
it
Yeah, for his guild too.
how to
Yes.
do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that again, that's his full time job.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
So
Yeah, but-
interest wane too. Like, guys, how many of us? And I'm sorry, Russ, I'm just jumping in here, but how many of us have a 3D printer, a CNC, a router, a lathe, everything, and like me, I say I'm a jack of all trades, master of none, because I am. But these guys, and I'm not saying, Mike, that you're not. I'm just saying, but these guys that's all they do.
Yeah. Yeah,
But-
I think there's a difference between what I do and something like Mark Spagnola does.
All right.
He is a woodworker for sure, without a doubt.
Yeah.
I'm more the maker person.
Yeah.
The jack of all trades, master of none. I'm that guy.
Me too.
The DIYer, whatever you want to call it, whatever category you want to put it
Yeah,
in.
I put you a little bit higher than a DIY though. I've seen your work. So
Yeah, I agree with
break
Chris.
stuff just as
I
easily
agree
as
with you.
anybody else.
Mark would be the first to tell you that if you're expecting YouTube to be your main source of income, you
Oh yeah, he will. He
right
will.
there.
Well, the thing about it is, during the time that I started my YouTube channel is when I retired from the fire department, and I was expecting to try to get into the YouTube thing. Maybe not be a Mark Spagnola, but in the same aspect, that's what I was kind of pushing to the goal towards. But when Steve Good told me, just have fun with it, and I decided to turn in that direction, and I really never looked back. And I'm not saying that I'm as good as Mark or anybody else. My point being is, but I could have turned it into a full-time position. I just never really wanted to. And then at the same aspect, I had the side job that I had done all my entire life, the construction business.
You go.
And I decided to just go construction full time. And thank God I did,
Yeah, see,
because
focus.
within a matter of let's see, I retired in 2004. Within a matter of 6 years, I made enough I'll never have to work the rest of my life. So between my retirement income and the Social Security, huh?
Russell, could you adopt me then?
Yeah, I don't ever have to work again the rest of my life. I don't have.
Well, I'll be his son.
So my point being is, had I put all that energy into YouTube,
Yeah.
and it flunked,
Roll
you
the
know what
dice.
I'm saying?
Roll the
Yeah.
dice. Yeah.
And it flunked. Look at the position I might be in today. So thank God I had a
think,
friend like Steve Good to kind of put me into perspective. If you're trying to think about this and like,
I think the person that I think did it right from the get-go was what's his name? I like to make stuff.
Yeah. I can't. The orange logo.
Yeah.
I can't remember the name too.
It's the name is skipping me, but he started it. He kept his full-time job for a long time until its channel crossed that line, where, okay, this can be my full-time job. And I think he made a great transition between, full-time job to YouTube, and it was almost seamless. And he announced it, but I think he if I was going to do YouTube expecting to go into it, I would have done it the way he did it.
Yeah.
I'm looking at his website.
Bob Claggett.
Bob Claggett.
Yes.
Yes.
Bob Claggett.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just as you said it, I scrolled past his name. You're right.
Yeah, Bob Claggett. Yeah. No, and he's one of those start in there with everybody else. And I like to make stuff. And he did that too. Who's the guy that was on TV all the time?
DeResta.
Yeah, DeResta started out in kind of that period of time, but he got discovered by Discovery Channel, and
he was doing TV way before YouTube. I mean, he was doing TV in the 80s or early 90s or something.
Oh, was he? I didn't go back that far. Yeah.
I
didn't notice him until he got into YouTube, to be honest with you.
Right, I didn't either. I didn't know any of them, but
I knew him before because he's in New York, I was in Boston. We're pretty close together, so I'd run across his name and his show every now and then, but I didn't follow him. So.
Yeah,
probably April Wilkerson too. I mean, she went from a office worker at a petroleum company to where she's at now.
I've always thought that the TV networks are missing a huge hit with her. She's self-taught.
Well, she's been on a couple of
TV shows.
Yeah, but she hasn't been the focus of the shows.
No, you're absolutely right.
It's always been the third banana. Let me deliver the coffee.
And she's got the personality for it. So.
She does. Yeah. I've given more young women her website link that care to come.
Yeah.
So watch her. She taught herself. You can do it too.
Yeah.
But it's not my problem. It's April's, but still, it's my opinion of it though.
Donna said something really good over there. It said, hold on. Where is it at?
She catches the specials.
My allergies got a lot away from woodworking, but hopefully by the end of the month, and she's right. I went through I want to tell you, don't get old. I tell my kids that, don't get old. I hit 60 and everything went to hell. I had never had a sinus infection in my entire life until like 59, 60 years old. I didn't know what a sinus infection was. And now every time I turn this year, I've had, last year I had 3 or 4. They gave me allergy shots. It's supposed to help me. So this year I only had 1. So it's obviously kind of helped me. But my point being is, you ain't lived till you have a sinus infection. I mean, it kicks your butt. It just flat. You're weak. You don't feel good. It's just a horrible situation. And that's what my doctor even told me. That's some of the reasons I turned to from woodworking in a way into this kind of maker's thing. I can do laser because laser, I have a great system to get rid of the smoke and everything. Because I don't even really smell it in my shop. I mean, I can smell it. Don't get me wrong, but my point being is I had to get away from the scroll saw. I had to get away from the lathe. I had to get away from the table saw. Because my doctor said, I want you to stop your woodworking for at least 1 year until we can get this under control. And I mean, I'm not sitting here and telling you that I didn't do a few scroll saw projects or stuff. That some things I needed an inch and 5/16 of a hole, and I couldn't find a hole saw that size to save my life. I drew me a circle and cut it with a scroll saw, and it fit perfect.
Yeah.
So I'm like, and it was an 1.5-inch piece of wood.
Yep.
So, I didn't say I cut out all the sawdust, and then I had to do some work around the house, which required me to use a circle saw. But my point being is, so I know exactly what Don is saying. Your health, and sometimes when you get older, will kind of influence what you can or can't do, including in your woodworking.
Yeah. I can't stand on concrete for hours on end like I used to.
Yeah.
It just
kills you.
my back.
Yeah.
I hear you. Tires you out.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Trust me, I told my kids, I tell them all the time, and I'll be sitting there talking. I said, I look at Cameron. It comes to or Corey or Chad or Ashley or Brandy or Amber or Cody, or I look at them and say,
sons and daughters.
Yeah, I said, if I could ever carry one word of advice to you about your future is don't get old.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah, don't get old. It sucks. I have the mentality of when I was a 20-year-old, and I have the versatility as far as or vibrance or however you want to say it, that I would love to be able to get out there and do what I did at 20. But when I do, I go to bed at night going, oh, that was a rough day. So it's like, it don't work out. It just don't work out.
I ended up moving.
I ate out of a lot of sports I played. I played wheelchair basketball. I skied. I don't recover as fast as I used to.
No.
So I couldn't afford a risk of an injury.
Yeah.
Because I have to go to work still back then.
Yeah.
I ended up moving last year, and
what'd you say, Mike?
I ended up moving last year into this house, and that was it just went so fast. I mean, we sold our house, I had to go, and a month later I was here, and I had to move all that stuff, and moving sucks anyway. But
yeah,
man, moving the shop, man, that sucked.
So really and truly, youth is wasted on the young.
The youth, yeah.
Yeah. No, I agree with that.
Long distance move?
No, it was only.
He moved from. Go ahead, tell him.
I went from Boston to Southwest Florida.
Oh yeah.
And one of the pods alone was the workshop.
Yeah, I bet.
And they're like over $1,000 a piece. So
yeah,
my wife was giving me the stink eye. I bailed out on a lot of scavenged lumber, and what that told me the most is I had a couple thousand feet of cedar. I had to leave it behind.
Yeah,
so, I just broke my heart because I got it for free. That was the worst part.
I know. Yeah, isn't that crazy? I've got some. I think it's 4-4, I believe, and it's just totally rough, and it's like feet and feet and feet. I mean, I probably have, I don't know, maybe 30 boards. I guess I don't know. It was given me free. Man, I couldn't imagine leaving them behind. It just
mine came from the locker room at the gym I belonged to. They were rehabbing the locker room, and they replaced all the cedar walls with tile. I said, let me park my truck out back. And
just keep on putting it in here until the wheels are about halfway up.
You know what? The owners of the club didn't want to give it to me, but the contractor didn't give a rat's ass as to where he put it. So he just threw it in my truck.
Well, I sit here and I complain, but in the same aspect, there's a lot of people worse off than I am.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Agreed.
Oh, yeah.
And the only reason I complain is because I realize now how good I had it, how good I felt, how much energy I had and everything when I was in my 20s and 30s. And then, now I come down to this, but yes, I just not trying to be. I had a colonoscopy, and my brother had colon cancer. And I did a colon guard and it came back with some irregular results or whatever, but my colonoscopy came back and said, I don't have cancer. So thank God for that. So there are blessings, and, I am thankful because it could be a hell of a lot worse. Trust me.
I always keep in mind that we weren't rich people growing up, and I'm still not rich people, but I've always had a roof over my head. There's always been food in the fridge.
Exactly. Food on the table, clothes on my back, and shoes to wear.
If someone asks me for a little bit of assistance, I can throw you a fin. I don't care if you're scamming me. I'd rather have one person scam me than help 9 others.
But well, Mike, we're going to get off of here because I told my wife I'd try to get through at 9 o'clock. I ain't through.
Okay.
So I know the last time my experience of asking you what you said was your woodshop confession. So I don't want another one of those, but do you have anything any more entertaining to tell us about your woodshop confessions? Something that you did since the last time when you struck the drill bit through the piece of wood into your hand.
Yeah.
The bloodier, the better.
I still have that fucking mark. Yeah, it's still there. Screw it, look in my hand. That was not a cool day.
Anything else?
No, about the only thing. No, not really. I almost caught
you're lucky then.
with my laser, but
you what?
I was there. Almost shot the shop on fire with my laser.
Oh, that's easy to do. Yeah.
But it wasn't that bad. I mean, it didn't actually get flames, but it was really close. But
I have 100 watt. If I don't turn on the air and fire that sucker off, which I've done it a couple of times, as soon as I hit the button, a flame of about 2 or 3 inches will pop up. With it actually especially if I'm cutting, it actually takes the air to keep the flame extinguished, so to speak. If I'm cutting with that 100 watt, as soon as I push that button, that little flame pops up and I go, oops, push button quick. But and here's my point. I had some idiot the other day. I'm on a bunch of groups, including CNC still, and they were sitting there saying that, they walk away from their CNC, it can't start a fire or whatever. And I went back and found a video that I had from years ago, and I don't remember who it was, but it was a woodworking friend, people that we know, and he started his CNC and went inside to use the bathroom and get something to drink. And during that period of time, the piece came loose and started wandering around with the drill bit or the router bit in it. And by the time he went in, got a drink, used the bathroom, and we're only talking about 15 minutes maybe, and came back out, there was smoke and flames coming out of a CNC. I got that video. Yeah, I can see it now. He come down the stairs into his garage because his garage was even lower. I can see it now. Just plain, and I'm thinking, like, you idiot. You really don't think a CNC can start a fire? Any device can start a fire. Come on, give me a break. And so it's like, and I put that video and posted it in that little column that he put down there. Everybody come on, and it was like, there was just no more talk. It's like, really? This can really happen? Yeah. Once that router bit goes around that piece and starts heating that wood, it's called Katie bar the door. There was flames. I would 6 inches.
Never leave any machine running.
You can't.
CNC 3D printers, I don't care.
I have a laser, I have a CNC, and I have these 3D printers. All three things have video cameras on them.
Yep.
So if I do have to get up and go to the bathroom, I don't have my phone with me now. I have an app on my phone. I will turn the app on. I will put the video camera on. I will walk out of my shop towards my house. I will go in my house, and I'm holding my phone watching that video. I will sit down and do my little poo-poo and watch the video while I'm doing it so that I make sure when I go back out, my shop is okay.
And if you see a fire or if you see a problem, that poo-poo comes out even quicker, man.
Exactly. It gets cut off short, and I'm headed running out the door, pulling up my underwear. So I'm not going to leave. I mean, I'm not saying that I won't walk in the house to get something to drink or do something, but I have my phone in my hand with that video on the entire time I'm walking in. And the only time I've had anything close to a fire is 2 or 3 times. I will just be in a hurry and getting things done, is that I've hit the fire button and it starts burning, and I'll look over and I see a little flame pop up. Oops. And I forgot to turn the air on, which will keep the flames, from happening. But yeah, I'm like, you're an idiot if you leave any machine running for any period of time. Oh, another thing that I have is in my shop is a smoke. I have one in my shop and one in this room. And one of the I have one in all 3 shops. I have 3 different shops, and I have smoke detectors that if they go off, it automatically comes on my cell phone and tells me that one of them's going off. Too. Yeah,
that's true.
So in other words, if something happened and I missed it on the video camera, the thing would go off and tell me there's smoke alarm that went off in your shop.
Yeah. We have them if we're in the house. If we're away and we go on a lot of road trips for the day, it tells us something's going down.
Yeah. I mean, come on, a laser. Why would you walk away? And I see so many pictures of these lasers just being incinerated, and I wonder if I can fix this. Well, you should have thought that before you left it alone.
Leave the laser. I won't leave the laser for sure.
That's one of those.
I'm a little more comfortable about leaving, but
I mean, I've left my lasers long enough to go inside and use the bathroom.
Yeah.
I mean, where I live, sometimes I can just walk outside and go beside the tree and not have to worry about it and just walk right back in. I
miss that in this neighborhood.
Yeah. I can just walk out
all the time. I can't do that.
Yeah, I can just walk outside and hide behind the tree and don't worry about it and go right back in the shop. So, and I have a refrigerator in my shop, so I don't have to worry about beverages. So
you never have to leave.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, we got to get out of here. Thank you, Mike. And it's been very awesome to have you back on. Yeah, and I hope let's make a little pack here. Let's go. I mean, you can come on anytime you want, obviously, because I consider you a friend, and I just can't say enough great things about you. But anytime you want to come on, but let's make this thing for like 1 year from now, and let's see what things have changed, and
it's good
do
idea.
it again. So sounds good.
Not much,
Well, hey, it's still good seeing you and talking to you.
For sure. You never know. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're going to get out of here. Thank you, Jim and Chris and Al and Donald, and then Paul was on here. I don't know where Dixon's at tonight.
Power. I saw his message.
Yeah, he was like in the woods or something like that, or.
He makes it sound like he lives in the backwoods of whatever, but
he has he doesn't live in the woods. He lives right across from the bay.
He said something like that in the chat.
Maybe he went camping and none of us know about it.
I think something like that is what he said.
Yeah, shit still happens sometimes.
But anyway, good to see you, Mike. And I just want to mention that we lost Braxton. Within the last couple of years, we lost Patrick from Patrick's Woodshop in the last couple of years, and we also lost Chris Cute in the last couple of years. Those are the 3 that comes. I think we've lost one more. I can't think of who that is.
Brenda G, one of our very own.
Oh yeah, Brenda G. Thank you, Brenda G. And we lost Brenda G, one of our main. It's funny how your mind plays tricks on you. Couldn't even think of that, but. Yeah, so that's 4 friends, woodworkers, cohorts in crime, whatever, that we've lost in the last couple of years. So,
in the world of ham radio, it's called a silent key. I don't know what it's called in the world of making.
Maybe
there should be a word for it.
It's a quiet table saw.
Table saw.
I don't know, making it up.
But I had a good time tonight. Thank you again, Mike. Listen. If you're too darn busy to get out in your shop and make some sawdust, or even make a 3D printing, or make some DTF or embroidery something, just get off your lazy butt and get out there and do something. Because if you're too darn busy to make something or make some sawdust, you're just too darn busy. Just give me sawdust, lots of sawdust all around me and everywhere. I like it flying all around my shop and even in my beard and hair. Thank you, everybody, for watching tonight, and God bless.
And just remember, you don't have to go home, but you cannot stay here.
No, you got to get out. See
Well,
you
these-
later.